Hey guys, Stock Saturday, and it's been a bit of a rough end to the week, I imagine, for a lot of people. Just looking at the S&P, down about 5.5%. Nasdaq down a little bit more. I've not done too bad, but down about 1.5%, 3,500. So some of this has come from the crypto, but I've had some sort of things holding up the portfolio. So Baidu and Alibaba. Baidu sort of stayed flat, but Alibaba doing quite well. Sort of Chinese regulations potentially easing a little, although they are going into lockdown from the looks of it. Hive and Argo sort of coming down a bit with the crypto coming down. But I've sold Freeport McMoran and switched into Atalaya Mining. Sort of mentioned before, I wasn't all that happy with Freeport doing copper and gold. Sort of seem a little bit counterintuitive to each other. Atalaya are basically pure copper. A lot smaller. Freeport are about sort of 80 or 90 times the size of Atalaya. 560 million. Pretty much focused in Spain. But the sort of downside seem to be very good value. Sort of highly profitable, but sort of downside seems to be mine life. They've got about 12 years left unless they can get sort of new permits. Could potentially spend some of the profit on exploration miners maybe, or sort of other ventures to extend it beyond that. I'm fairly bullish that they'll be able to do something. So had a switch out to them. But that's pretty much the ISA IG side of things. Not sort of moved much at all, about £100 overall. So that's that. That's helped. The Trading212 side, the ISA's held up extremely well, down about £200. Struggling to sort of see what is holding it up, because the ARCPI is sort of, it's not dropping all that much, but plenty of sort of fair 5% drops or so. Some of the REITs, American Towers dropping. Argo, obviously, my one of my largest positions in there, down 5%. Bitcoin ETP hasn't really dropped, but even sort of some of the REITs. First Majestic Silver, potentially just the way they calculate it, could be sort of holding things up, which is quite nice. Sylvania, now the biggest position in here, is flat for the week, which isn't too bad. And the rest of the stuff is broadly down. So I think this is probably just a calculation error with the way they've sort of ended last week and started this week. But still not keen on spending the cash, to be honest. Sort of see some reasonable buys in the invest side, but kind of want to spend this free funds on potentially trying to find the Argo blockchain bottom. But we'll see. And on the invest side, this has seen a bit of a drop. It's sort of mostly been dividend stocks, a lot of sort of US in here. So that's down about 3,500. That's sort of basically all of the drop this week. And it's sort of, broadly things down about 3 to 7%, some more. Tech stocks sort of doing bad. Some stuff not doing too bad. Bristol Myers sort of flat for the week. I'm very close to sort of selling this off, I think. Probably wait and see what happens with the FOMC US interest rate decision on Wednesday. So that should be interesting. If we get a bit more of a drop and Bristol Myers sort of holds up, then I think that'll probably be going. Most of the sort of other stuff is down sort of 5% or so. Himax actually bucking the trend and is sort of doing quite well, holding up very well, although they've got a very large dividend coming, so expect this might just be sort of people holding that for The dividend is about $1.25, so should see a fair drop in this by the end of the month. But I may consider sort of buying a little bit more then. Intel seen a hell of a drop, nearly 10%. Still don't sort of think this is quite as good value as some of the other semiconductors, really. I see a lot of people sort of buying them, but maybe not comparing them to the sort of the lesser bought semiconductor stocks, sort of Samsung, and strangely nobody seems to like TSMC really. But yeah, I think I might be selling a few more bits. If I do sell Bristol Myers and sort of some of the others, could be going into semiconductor stocks. So yeah, Meta Platforms 8% down. Not really a surprise there. Sort of spending too much. Nintendo, as always, bucks the trend and is in the positive. Micron over 10% down, so this could be getting some love from the other sales. I think looks really good value now. Still, I guess people are sort of pricing in a bit of a recession and sort of reduced semiconductor demand, but yeah, I'm not sure. I still like them. Process actually with China having a reasonable week has done pretty well, 7% up, so 10 cents done well. Rio not doing too bad. Samsung, yeah, so Samsung would probably be getting some of the buys next week if FOMC goes sort of as badly as expected. You've had the interest rate decision. You've had the inflation numbers out, yesterday that sort of seemed to cause a lot of the downturn. Yeah, about 8%, 8.6% on the year-on-year. Still pretty rough on the month. So, yeah, interest rates would probably be going up 0.5%, but it'll be more about what they say going forward, really. So, we'll see. Seneca Foods, 3.6% up. Did sort of spike to 62. I probably should have maybe sold that out and bought something, but we'll see what happens next week. I mean, they're not too bad value, but it's not a huge conviction, really. Shell, I'm not really in the sort of camp of everyone selling this at the moment. I still think oil's got a fair run. They're sort of spending on renewables, building out a lot of wind and solar, even if they are still spending a lot on oil and gas. But yeah, I still think that's got a little way to go. Stellantis has seen a fair drop. Not sure whether to sort of add a little bit more to this, to be honest. I have got my small cap US value ETF, which has been doing okay, really, the last sort of few months. Not sure whether I want to be in sort of ETFs, really. I might, until I sort of go full, sell the Bitcoin and everything, might sort of concentrate this into my existing individual stocks. Yeah, TSMC down 5%, so that could be getting a buy shortly. Tesla, remarkably, held up pretty well, sort of riz a little bit during the week, but then had the sell-off and ended up down 1%, so well done them. And then, yeah, Tyson, Vale done pretty rough, and Volkswagen 3%, so yeah, just looking at the sort of top holdings, still obviously emerging markets ETF is a fairly big diverse position, so don't really count that, but Shell still largest sort of individual stock, Lennar pretty big now, Himax, high conviction, Broadcom, Taylor Wimpey, so fairly happy with this, but I think maybe sort of potentially sell off some sort of lower conviction holdings, I guess. Small cap value has sort of held up pretty well. Maybe even Japan looks okay value, but I've got sort of decent value, higher conviction positions, so could be getting out of that maybe in the next few weeks. As I say, Bristol Myers, potentially Bank of Nova Scotia, although that has had a fair drop this week. But yeah, so 33 holdings, could be potentially seeing this drop to sort of 30 maybe over the next week or two, and concentrating more into my higher conviction stocks, which is probably around these top 10, maybe a bit into Micron. So yeah, that's the portfolio for the week. Let us know how you're doing, if you're taking a bit of a hit during the week, and yeah, like and subscribe. See you soon.